There, I'm some jerk on the internet, and we're back here streaming through Restream. No more OBS ambiguities for Wackahovend. Yes, Kent did his little whacking atheist last night after two debate slash discussion things. He didn't actually do any more Bible characters like he said he was going to on Sunday when he did his fourth Aaron part. So, came to Wednesday. Kent did his whacking atheist. And you'll never guess who it was. Simon Dan again. So, yeah. And it hit me earlier. Hovind would say in a lot of the earlier ones, and still sometimes does say, so many atheists, so little time. So who's the winner today? It's Simon Dan again. He says that, so many atheists, so little time, yet he always seems to focus on the same 5 or 6 people. To a point where it's like, you have to look and be like, Kent, if there's so many people, why aren't you covering them? Oh, right. As you love to put it, you want to ride on the coattails of people far more successful than you. So that was just something I wanted to bring up. Secondly, I set up, the website name's kind of weird. It's called UPay, but it's a creator support thing, combination wish list and donation thing that if you want to shoot shekels my way, that'll get to me quicker than waiting for the monthly YouTube payout. That is an option. Just letting y'all know. And being completely transparent on stuff, I'm at the very tail end of my debt repayments. Stuff that's been hounding me for years is about to be capped off, and it is glorious. But I still need help crossing that finish line. And I appreciate every single person who has ever watched a stream, interacted, what have you. Because you've all helped in one way or another, be it just checking out things or be it actually tossing some stuff over, sharing, what have you. So QR code up there in the corner, check that out. Outside of that, in case you missed it somehow, there were technical difficulties, but we did cover the entirety of the lawsuit against Mark Stoney by Kent Hovind et al. That was an ordeal. Did not go the way I expected it to. Did not focus way too much on what I didn't expect it to. So it's a thing. Everything is just wild in that realm. So it's a near 3-hour stream, but we go through the entire document. And actually, the terrifying thing is I am probably the first person to actually go through that entire document outside of Hovind's legal people, unless one of y'all is crazy enough to have read it before I made my stream. But that all aside, this is a longer preamble than normal, and my cat wants it back in the room. She was taking a nap, then she wanted out. We're going to get Hovind on screen, and let's do this thing. And of course, he's not on YouTube. And he's muted. That's just wonderful. No audio from the Hovind. We're just going to press play and see how long it takes him to figure it out. Nope, still nothing, Hovind. Just going to jump ahead here. Oh, are they figuring out? Are they realizing it? Yeah, they're realizing it. Shut up, Kent. I mean, I would say shut up, but I mean, you got nothing. Do y'all get any audio? No, of course you don't get any audio. I can see you don't have any audio. There's just nothing. Is this just pointless? Am I crazy?
Church in Lenox, Alabama.
There it fucking is. Congratulations. It took y'all nearly a minute to get audio working. Joseph, could you try harder, man? You're supposed to be the tech guy. You're supposed to be orchestrating this stuff. Try harder, for fuck's sake.
If the Bible is true and evolution is stupid. Come straight north of Pensacola, about 70.
Yeah, because the center of the universe is motherfucking Pensacola, Florida. The absolute taint of America's wang that is Florida.
Miles. Find an itty-bitty town called Lenox, Alabama. We love it out here. We think God ought to get the glory for his creation instead of the stupid evolution religion.
Everyone fucking hates us around here, but we love it out here.
Go straight north of Lenox. Good luck finding downtown Lenox. 1 mile, and you see the old gravel pit. Dinosaur Adventureland, 140 acres.
Hi, you can't see the gravel pit, you fucking moron. You head down a road that's actually paved, and then there's a sign. There's a nondescript turnoff that almost looks like private property, but that's Pearl Lane, i.e. Dust Central. And then to the left, i.e. north, is DAL.
God is good. We give tours. I have now 4 Jeeps to give tours in. It's a blast around to take the doors. Oh, we got the doors back on for the winter. We think God ought to get the glory for his creation. Okay, Simon, Dan.
Yeah, except it's not a creation. You guys just want to assert that because you're just reality denying nut jobs. That's all there is to it.
Presented an easy target. I guess I need a half a night off.
Translation, I'm fucking lazy and all I'm going to do is ride on the coattails of this far more successful YouTube creator, who is a fan of my work, I might add. I'm sorry, I cannot be humble about that. Simon Dan likes my work. That's fucking awesome.
We're going to whack Simon Dan one more time. So Dan, hang in there. Oh, I forgot to drag him over so we'll be able to play it. Joseph, let's see. Here he is. I got to drag this over here. Looks like he's praying, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Innocent freeze frame. Okay. Full screen. And let's get Simon Dan audio check here.
This, if you support the mission and find it as useful as I do. Right then, on with today's video. Which
I'm telling you, one of the things I'm going to love to do once, because January's still going to be rough. I've got some catching up I've got to do on some other things. But once January's done with, and I think things are back to something resembling stable financially in my life for once, getting a Ground News subscription is going to be so fucking awesome because that is going to boost my ability to cover content, be it via video or my much neglected website, at a rate that I haven't done in like 7 years. It's going to be great.
as you saw from the intro, is from Kent Hovind. We start as Kent reads out a question from one of his followers about how to deal with an atheist that this guy is currently debating. Let's have a look.
I'm arguing.
And yes, Tubian, the AI voice mispronunciations in the stream were great. Hovind, Dahl, Zayler, Zaire, Zayler, all of the above. It was great.
With an atheist now, know-it-all, who claims that science has tried but failed to model the Grand Canyon being created in a catastrophic event such as the flood. Well, first of all, I don't say the Grand Canyon was caused by the flood. Grand Canyon probably came 100 years after the flood.
Well, that sounds marginally less ridiculous, I suppose.
There's that British wit coming through. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. Again, just the fact that Kent seriously thinks that the Grand Canyon was already rocky, that it wasn't even soft. Like, he's thinking 100 years later, so it was rocks. And he thinks a torrential, a dam bursting, carved into solid rock, a meandering path. None of that is how material actually works. And you'll recall when he's shown various broken dams and spillways, it's always going to be soft material that failed. Or at best, one particular example was cemented over soil. So it was still a soft substrate. Nothing like what he claims happened.
But
It makes a difference, Dan. See, all the layers of the earth were laid down during that 1 year flood. All of them were soft mud at one time. They're called sedimentary rock. Okay, look up sedimentary. Okay, settled out. Okay, so the first 100 years.
Why are their properties so incredibly different? And the stratification so, no pun intended, but cemented, as it were. You know, why is the structure as consistent as it is with the properties that it has? It should all be basically the same material under your model, because layers don't form like you think they do.
Years after Noah's flood, the top exposed layers are going to dry out. It's going to make a crust like a cake, have a hard crust on top and it's soft underneath. So I don't know how long, pick a number, 100 years. Let's say 50 feet of the layers on top would dry out and turn to stone. The rest is still soft mud underneath. And the more it dries on top, the more it traps the moisture inside, and the longer it takes for those layers to dry out. So if the Grand Canyon, if the river started cutting the canyon slowly at the top where it was hard rock, I'll show you some pictures, maybe that'll help, Dan. Then when it finally gets down to the soft stuff, then the erosion really takes place. Grand Canyon is a washed out dam. Well, I'll show you then. Okay.
Kent's got.
By the way, I'm doing this as a Christmas present for you, Dan. I really would like to introduce you to the Lord Jesus Christ, have you get saved tonight. Give your heart to the Lord. Give up on the stupid evolution religion you've chosen.
It's not a religion, Kent. It's just not. Also, this idea that you choose your beliefs. You don't choose your beliefs. Ideas, once you're exposed to them, will resonate with you. If you're choosing your beliefs, then they're not beliefs. You're just making shit up as you go along. It's not how the concept works.
To believe, capital B, believe. Evolution's a religion. And you got duped. You got duped, Dan. You really did. There's no evidence for evolution. God made the world in 6 days. And he came and died on the cross.
And yeah, Tubian, good point. He has said in other videos that the Grand Canyon was made during the flood.
For you and for me. And I accepted it. And you haven't yet. So get on the ball, will you? Okay. Here we go. Good to help you British, beat the Germans one time too. So I'm trying to help you. Okay. Let's see.
Huge problem here because.
Hey, Kent. Buddy. You want to talk about them there bad Germans circa 1933 to 1945? Most predominant conflict involving them was 1939 to 1945. You want to know who kicked Germany's ass? We love to idolize the Western Front. North Africa, because that was us. That was the Brits. That was the Americans. That was the Australians. But the Eastern Front is where Germany really got fucked over. You want to know what country that was, Kent? That was kicking Germany's ass on the Eastern Front? A little nation you might have heard of called the Soviet Union. We would not have been able to win World War II as we did if Hitler hadn't fucked up and went on and attacked the Soviet Union, causing them to eventually counter that through many, 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 many losses. An incredible war of attrition that a lot of us don't give credit where it's due to the people of that nation as it was at the time for having done. And I just want to stress this because it was because of communists, because of the socialist structure that you rally against, as flawed as it was in the USSR. During Stalin's time, especially. He had some good points, but a lot of stuff was rough. We wouldn't have been able to win. That's simple. At best, we would have likely had some kind of relative stalemate where Europe just stayed an empire under the Reich, as it was. I think that's honestly about the best we would have really had. Because so much effort was put in the East. It weakened the West. And by the time we were able to plan and strategize D-Day, we were able to finally make something happen. I'm sorry for going off on a bit of a World War II tangent, but dead serious, we do not historically give the Soviet Union credit it deserves. Instrumental to the success of the European theater. And they did help push a little bit extra on the Japanese front ending, because after we had done the atomic bombings, Russia finally stopped being neutral to Japan and went on and began, Russia, the Soviet Union, and went on and declared war. So there's your history lesson, a la, Professor Yamato. Let's continue.
Catastrophic floods don't cause long, winding, perfectly carved canyons.
Catastrophic floods don't cause long, winding.
And yes, I forgot the Canadians. I do not mean to forget the Canadians. I apologize greatly on that front. Canadians were also instrumental on the Western Front. Our little Anglo alliance was something else. And yes, I stuttered there.
Catastrophically or curved
I
canyons.
was about to say Anglican alliance. I'm like, wait a minute. Or is that actually correct? Hang on, let me double check. Okay, major Christian tradition descended from Church of England. Okay, I wanted to make sure because yeah.
And you need to stop and rethink this one more time. Let's let him talk for a minute, and I'll show you Hovind translation here.
They carve chaotic channels and straight chutes. The Grand Canyon looks nothing like that. It meanders for 446 kilometers like a river taking its sweet time.
You know, I was actually on Google Earth dropping pins in the Grand Canyon randomly. People have, done the 3D photography all up and down the path, and it is beautiful in all the other areas that aren't like the main sections you usually see. And the variations that you see in the strata, in the erosion patterns, everything is just incredible. The diversity of that alone tells you that this happened over a long period of time at different rates in different areas as well. It's incredible.
Because that's
just, you look at it and it's like, yeah, this is old. This is really fucking old. Like, you look at it and you just know. And that's something I don't get, is these clowns look at this stuff and are like, oh yeah, it's wrong. It was made during Noah's flood. It's like, no, it wasn't.
Exactly what happened.
A river taking its sweet time. He's talking about it like the Mississippi River, low slope, loops back and forth. You ever just leave your water hose running on a driveway that's almost flat? The water loops back and forth trying to get down to the bottom. Yeah, simple.
The Grand Canyon isn't a driveway, Kent.
You learn that when you're 6 years old. I'll show you that.
And yeah, it should be pointed out from Maria. Something like 80% of Russian men aged 18 to 25 died in the Great Patriotic War. The USSR suffered the greatest losses in World War II. Something like 50 million people. Absolutely insane.
Just a minute. Okay, is that the question? Let me go to Grand Canyon here. Okay. Talk about Grand Canyon for a moment. I've been there many times.
Rogue Rainbow. The Germans invade Russia. USSR. Now you done fucked up. Very true. Some sources say 60 to 68% of Russian men born in 1923 died in the war, or in the social chaos of the time, like the famines, but war took most of them. Yeah. I mean, it was rough. It was fucking rough. I say that like I was there. I wasn't. I can only imagine. So I've got massive respect. And this is one of the reasons why I have a level of incredible respect and admiration for the Soviet Union, in their ability to come from the situation that they were in just, 25 years from the revolution to what World War II actually, even 20 years then, 25, 35, 45. Yeah. In less than that, to become what they had been, mainly through the industrialization that Stalin pushed for. So I've got mad respect for them. And I go, straight up saying that the Soviet history, post-Soviet nations, I have massive love and respect for them. Slavic culture, I find beautiful. And that as a part of it, that the Soviet system is heavily a Slavic creation, if that makes sense. The culture influences what they created. And it's not like I'm just going to go to Ukraine and be like, oh yeah, man, I love the Soviet Union. It's fucking mental there. They hate the Soviet Union for valid fucking reasons, just as they hate Russia now. But I'm not going to hate Russia, Ukraine, or any of the nations as their identities, being Soviet, post-Soviet, what have you. And I'm not going to hate the Soviet Union for what it was during its time. We were in a Cold War situation, but that's just the hand that was dealt when two nations become superpowers. That's the kind of structure. And when you look at things, what did winning the Cold War actually get us in the West? Everything's just as fucked, if not more, than it was during that. But let's focus on Hovind.
I studied avidly. I taught her science 15 years. Grand Canyon, without a doubt, is a really big hole in the ground. No question. About 5 million people a year visit Grand Canyon. What are they being taught? There's a bunch.
The truth.
Come on the platform there. Lined up to get in to see Grand Canyon. People say, oh, go see Grand Canyon. It's great. The Indians dance around there. Learn geological history. That is baloney. You learn propaganda. There's no such thing as a geologic column.
Come to DAL where we totally don't teach you propaganda. All right.
Okay.
The geologic column isn't some imaginary totem pole that researchers dreamed up. It's simply the combined record of rock layers observed around the world.
If the geologic column is a combined record of things found around the world, let me ask you a very, very simple question, Dan. You guys never answer it. Never. Here's a model used from the textbook, a chart.
Here it comes, everybody. You know what's coming. You get so fucking tired of hearing it.
Showing the so-called layers of the geologic column. They are teaching the kids the layers of the earth are different ages, vastly different. The Holocene dirt is only 10,000 years old. Wow, but down here to the Jurassic, wow, that's nearly 200 million years old. Okay.
Hey, Kent, you're not going to find Jurassic dirt. I always point this out. He treats it like it's all just piles of dirt, and it's not.
Where was all the Holocene dirt hanging out for 1.999 million years, waiting to land? How on earth can the layers be different ages?
Hey, Kent, you ever mow your grass? There's your fucking answer. You ever watch leaves decay? There's your fucking answer. You ever see, have sand brought? You talk about the dust on Pearl Lane. There you go. A new layer of dust on your car. I mean, come on, Kent. Anyone can understand this. It's a really fascinating process, the way material gets shifted and moved around and stuff. But once a layer cements and compacts down and cements, there you go. And when whatever material was on the surface at a given time, we know by index fossils and other barometers of nature at that time, air contents, particular materials like the iridium layer at the extinction of the dinosaur event, show consistency, indicating these things are chronologically the same time span. It's really great. But you're not going to see any of that. You're going to do this shit that you do every fucking day. All the wonder and mystery of the world, all the joy in life, figuring things out, just gone. Just fucking gone. God done did it. You gotta shuck him off. Yeah, Jeebus. What a miserable life you have, Kent. Absolutely pathetic. But hey, I guess you got your rocks off filing that lawsuit back on the 10th, didn't you? With some major errors in there that have only been noticed after the fact. And I was sent an email about. Somehow I missed it. Won't point it out. I don't want you and your dimwit attorneys to go back and try to fix it. I'm not helping you, Kent. Not this time. You done dug your own grave with this one, so enjoy.
Where's the dirt coming from, Dan? This geologic column that was made up in 1830 is just stupid on its face. You would think a fourth grader could figure out, how can the layers be different ages? Every speck of dirt in the planet is the same age. Whether 6,000 or 6 trillion, that's a different argument, but it's all the same age. You guys don't get it. There is no such thing as a geologic column, but this is your Bible. I'm fully aware of that. This is what...
No, it's not. We don't have a Bible, you dumb fuck.
That's how you think. Well, back in the Cretaceous, there's no such thing as a Cretaceous period. No such thing as a Jurassic. So no, I'll stand by my gun.
There's no such thing as a dinosaur Adventureland. There's no such thing as a Lenox, Alabama. There's no such thing as a Kent Hovind. Wouldn't the world be so much better if there wasn't a Kent Hovind? No, because then none of y'all would have met me, and I would not have met any of y'all. We wouldn't have had this unifying thread. We might have passed each other on occasion, names to recognize, but let's be real, would have never seen AJ's content likely. He's a unifying factor. It's weird. But he's a means to an end. That end being whatever we make it. The Terminator line, there is no fate but what we make for ourselves. That. This is what we've made for ourselves. It beats doing crack.
You disagree? Call in for a debate. 855 Big Dino, extension 4. Welcome, Joseph. Okay.
Call for a debate. Welcome, Joseph. I got to jerk off to my debate. Hovind.
You don't need every layer stacked perfectly in every location. You correlate them using fossils and radiometric ages, sediment types and unconformities. And actually, ironically, the Grand Canyon is one of the clearest real-world demonstrations of the geologic column.
And it's fucking beautiful. Just, I really want to go one day. But I really want to visit the American Southwest, the desert. Always wanted to just be there for a while.
It is, okay. I paid the $50 to take the helicopter ride down to the bottom of Grand Canyon years ago. We got down there and the guide said, folks, we went back 300 million years. I looked at my watch, it was the same day. I said,
Hi, I'm Ken Hovind, and I can't understand a fucking metaphor because I'm a prick.
my money back. Yeah, we didn't go back no 300. Okay, Dan, you've been brainwashed into believing some really dumb things, and I'm going to try to help you tonight. Okay, let's see. Well, where do I start? Which one? Part 4?
I mean, the fact the man knows good and goddamn well, if he likes World War II history and shit, like he acts like he does. You know, we have the audio of him watching like Mark Felton videos and stuff. He should know. Like something I've been seeing recently pop up as shorts feeds and the like, short form videos, are people digging up World War I and World War II battlefield areas and finding like bodies and stuff. You know, this dead German soldier. Here's his dog tags. Let's see if we can get these back to a relative or something, 80 years after the fact. They got to dig down. When I've been looking up research on places like Treblinka and the Holocaust, they're digging deep for this stuff. And sure, partly because Treblinka was completely razed, fresh material put over, and they re-engineered it to look like just a farmstead to hide what had happened there. But even at places, that didn't get that treatment, stuff gets buried. And it doesn't take any kind of complex extrapolation to realize material is going to continually get buried. It is going to become lower and lower in the grand scale from where you start digging. So give it thousands of years, what happens? Millions of years. Just look at how overgrown Machu Picchu was before it was when it was found and then was unearthed to the amount it is. Lots of old Mayan temples and stuff. And we're talking in the desert, in the jungles, so we got rapidly growing foliage, completely covered. These hills, turns out this isn't a hill. This isn't a geologic structure. This is a goddamn Mayan temple. And people literally didn't know. And that's just after a few hundred years. So you can only imagine. But again, this is Hovind we're talking about.
Part 6.
This is people who just lie about everything because whatever their magic book says must be true, except the stuff they don't want to be true, so they kind of skirt around the issue.
I guess I'll start with part 4. Okay. Let me go to here. Grand Canyon.
If anyone would like to sponsor me moving to the Southwest, that would be ideal. I could escape this wretched hellhole forever. Send my packages to Arizona. At the Alamo, there's a hole in the ground that shows you where the wall of the mission was during the battle. And that hasn't even been 200 years yet. Yeah. Like, the progression is crazy. Or, like, you'll look and you see the reverse of this, where at farmers' fields, where there'll be a tree and it'll be like up on like a mound, and you realize that's because they've been plowing the ground for so long. Dust is blown away, and they've actually been, and nothing really gets left to rot there. They harvest everything, so they've slowly been digging deeper and deeper holes through the decades to centuries. Alternately, if you head to older parts of town like Midtown, the lawns are oddly high up, and again you realize, oh, this used to be at level with the pavement. And then successive years, decades of material decomposing and layering have caused the lawn to effectively rise up. And it's a fascinating thing. If you look at like a modern subdivision and everything's like perfectly level, like they freshly built the stuff, freshly seeded the grass and stuff, then you go to something 20, 30 years old, you'll notice a difference. It's honestly a pretty quick process that things get buried.
Alt DV, look at this. PowerPoint. Praise God.
Oh, dude, you look at this PowerPoint, break God.
Wonder how Noah built the ark without PowerPoint.
And he probably didn't, you dumb fuck.
Grand Canyon. Let's talk about Grand Canyon. Did it take millions of years? These are the pictures I showed a minute ago that Dan played again. People visiting the canyon. All right, let's see. Geologic column. Trail of time. We go down the trail of time at the Grand Canyon. These layers are all sedimentary rock, meaning they were all soft sediments when they were laid down. Each time the moon pulls the water up and down as we turn under the moon, the tide has to rush in, rush out, rush. It's called tide.
No, also, the hydrodynamics are not that, Kent. And tides would be less severe without continents. If the whole Earth was just a giant ball of water at that point, you know, everything buried underwater, so submerged, the tides wouldn't behave like you think they do. They'd be less intense.
Tidal pumping. Every 6 hours, 12 and a half minutes, you would have this happening. And I don't know what the latitude of Grand Canyon is. I could calculate. Give me just a few minutes here.
I can calculate. He's trying to act like he has a clue.
Let's see. We're at 31 degrees north.
Calculate. Translation. I'm just going to look at my fucking globe that I keep beside me.
Let's see. Grand Canyon is probably...
Given my latitude, I'd say it's probably, honestly, roughly about like me, 35 degrees. I'm just going to take a wild guess.
Probably further north than us. So it's a smaller circle, spins a little slower, maybe 700 miles an hour.
Oh, wow, you didn't bother with that. Okay, let's just look it up. What latitude is the Grand Canyon, roughly? Roughly 36 degrees north latitude. Wow. Who's the fucking man, Kent? Who's the fucking man? Not you, me. Well, let me just hazard a fucking guess, given that I think it's about the same latitude as I am currently, and I'm at 35. Basically, Memphis, actually, a part of, if you, there's an exact backyard I've calculated. It is 3590. 90 on a longitude, 35 latitude. I kind of want to have that house so I can actually stand at that exact spot, but it's in like South Memphis. But I know, hey, you know, the country gets a little... Like, the South is a little further north than you think when you hit the West Coast. So I'm thinking it's about 35 degrees roughly, because I feel like it's about the same. And oh shit, I was right. Point Yamato. Hovind don't know shit.
The water would be going sideways to fill the top, to fill the bump. Here it's 886 miles an hour, 31 degrees north. It's a simple trig problem, okay? So the water going back and forth sideways while the layers are still soft. Well, let's talk about that for a minute. There's the bottom of Grand Canyon.
You want to talk about not being cold? It's like 75 out there. Memphis right now. Okay, 70. It is 70 degrees on motherfucking Christmas. People are going to say there's no fucking climate change. Up yours.
Where the Colorado...
Not you, my audience, but the people denying this stuff.
River is down there. All these layers right there. Limestone. It's interesting. There's limestone quite a few places in there. I always ask him, how do you tell the difference between Jurassic limestone and Cretaceous limestone? Well, let me go to seminar part, let's see, 6, seminar 6.
Yeah, it would be the life forms you find there. Because you'll notice you won't find those particular specimens of life at a younger layer or an older layer. They would seem to be a nice index for a particular strata. Especially when combined with the fact they're only likely to appear in certain particular types of sedimentary layers, because the life form is probably only going to live in certain conditions. Highly doubt your sea critters are living on land, buddy.
Okay. Right here.
But Chris, a circular reasoning. How do you date the rocks if you're using the fossils to date them? No, you're using a relative system there. Using radiometric dating methods, which are reliable because radioactive properties are consistent, will get you the ages of the strata when you can find the right material to test for, which isn't super hard. Sometimes it is hard material, granted. What if you don't have something to radiometrically date? You can hit the layers above and below, and you can get a nice timetable for these things. That especially is great when it is corroborated by fossils that are found in the layers. This is something you can never explain, Kent, and you always say, oh, they're separated by their density, by their intelligence. It's like, but that's not how fossils are separated. It's just not. Stop saying it. You fucking wrong.
Why didn't it bring it over, Joseph? Let's see.
Because you're a fucking moron. That's why it didn't bring it over, you dumb prick.
You close that one down.
God, every time I feel bad about narrating doing, I realize it could be a lot worse, and at least I guess there's a charm to it when I do it. I'm sure with my quirky personality and awkward charisma that I know I do have, y'all are getting me actually complimenting myself. You gotta give me that. When I'm like, here, let me just click this here and do this, it's actually got a charm to it, where Hovind is just pathetic.
It's Christmas. Give me a gift. Give me a break, okay?
Fuck you. You know, there's a Bloodhound Gang song that fits my opinion. And no, it's not the one everybody knows. It's another one.
Ah, there. Now, where is...
Oh my fucking God. I'm a one-man show over here. And you know, that's something that I need to bring up, is that when a certain person was staying over here, one of their comments and outright compliments was an acknowledgement of what it takes to do a live stream, even through Restream, is a hell of a lot of work. And I was complimented on that. Hovind has multiple people helping him, and he can't accomplish this shit. Yeah, I'm only 40. This man's 72. But goddamn, be more professional. Learn your shit.
DV.
He acts like he wants to learn. His mind solidified decades ago. And I'm trying my damnedest to keep my learning capability as sharp as possible, to be as much of a sponge as possible and continue to learn new things day in, day out. I never want to be at a point where I'm completely incompetent like this. And all my life I've been halfway there, so I've got double work to do.
There. Okay, so we want to go to Grand Canyon. I think it's about slide number 400, somewhere in there, if I recall. I was working on it. That's slide 700.
that was just a fresh email from whalepeen.com. Wondering if he wants to renew his subscription to bigdonkeydicks.org. Yes, Joseph, be sure to reply to that email with a big yes.
I'll get it. Just give me some grace here, folks. Let's see.
Fuck you.
I'm going to try to help you now, Dan. Let's see.
You can't even help yourself, you dumb fuck. There's this, you know, if y'all can see it, there's this fucking Jerry Falkberry not understanding tectonic uplift. Kaibab Plateau, go push up. Tectonics, plate tectonics is a thing.
I really do want to help. I'm going to pick on you a lot, but I'm concerned for your soul. You're probably not, but I am, right?
Yeah, Kent, you know what? You have a once saved, always saved philosophy. And generally speaking, because in any kind of remotely Christian culture, children are put through whatever ritual in their particular denomination will push them to that status very quickly. Ergo, odds are 99% of the people you complain about, I think the only one who wouldn't qualify would be Forrest, since he was raised pagan, and was never a Christian. I think he's the only one who qualifies as actually, quote unquote, needing what you're offering, because he wouldn't fall under the once saved, always saved philosophy that you and a lot of others believe. And that's kind of funny that in reality you're wasting your time.
First of all, if I'm right, you're wrong. You're in trouble. Pascal's.
Oh no! I accidentally muted him. Wow! Look at what happens though. The moment he doesn't have his slides, he has nothing to go on, and so he just runs Pascal's wager. Kent, buddy, It's not a this or that. It's an all of these or that proposition. And if any other theology is correct, you're just pissing off that deity even more likely than Dan and others would be. Ignoring the fact that people can be religious and accept reality, and that it's only your fundamentalist branches of usually your particular Abrahamic bullshit that tend to deny reality like this. I've never seen Buddhists rally against evolution. I've never seen Shintoists, do nothing but profess that the planet is only however many thousands of years old. Shinto theology may or may not say it is. I'm not sure. It's just the next odd theology. Odd as in not something Hovind would be familiar with that came to mind. And come the fuck on, Kent.
Secondly, you're deceiving a lot of people if you're wrong. Ah, there it is right there. Okay.
You're deceiving a lot of people if you're wrong. So you admit he could be right. Funny, Kent. But hey, I have it on no less of an authority than Kent Hovind himself that it's not evidence of a common designer. Y'all remember that? He said that. I clipped that shit. Quote mine the hell out of that, because Kent Hovind did say those words. So it is not, according to creationist tactics, it is not at all a problem to quote him on that.
Canyon. Slide number 485. Let me get to that one. The Mississippi River, Minneapolis, up near where the Mississippi starts, is only 670 feet higher than
there he goes. There he goes. He's going to do this shit.
New Orleans. 2 football fields. That's from here to the carpentry shop. That's the elevation of Minneapolis. The river flows downhill, comes out at New Orleans.
Yeah, Michael. So it boils down to a no true Scotsman. That's the point. He would just say they never truly were saved.
It's down there.
Well, isn't that up to the deity to decide as opposed to the person? And who are you to judge, Kent? Who are you to pass any kind of judgment?
Minneapolis is 1,150 miles from New Orleans. Okay? That's a 670-foot drop in 1,150 miles. So the Mississippi River drops 7 inches per mile.
Well, I'm not a pro se lawyer. Nice.
It has to flow a mile to go down 7 inches. That's why it loops back and forth. Just like, letting your hose run on the concrete driveway. If it's near level, it'll make a looping pattern, okay?
Okay, did Hovind, leave a hose running and he just carved out a little meandering thing in his dad's driveway, and his dad must have beat him to the nth degree with the thing because he's obsessed with that. Rivers are not driveways. This marsh type of land you show is not a driveway.
If a dam were built across Grand Lake, Grand Canyon, a giant lake would form behind it. All that purple area drains through Grand Canyon. Textbook says, over millions of years, the Colorado River carved the Grand Canyon from solid rock. I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that. Okay?
Hold up. What aircraft was that?
Colorado River carved the Grand Canyon from solid rock.
Ooh. Is that a C-135? Is that a C-135? No, it has a T-tail. Anyone know what that is? It has a T-tail. It's military drab. It's not a B-52. B-52s don't have T-tails, and they would have the double wing pylons. Anyone know? Seriously. Anyone got a clue? That's it. I've got to figure this out. Give me a moment. Or engines with T-tail. Lockheed C-5 Galaxy? Or the Boeing C-17 Globemaster? Yeah, maybe. We'll go with that. It's Lockheed. We'll go with that. I like Lockheed.
I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that. Okay? I've been to Grand Canyon many times, taught Earth Science 15 years, studied it avidly. I think it's amazing. I think Grand Canyon formed 100 years after the flood. Here we go. I forgot to put the name of the textbook on here. I'm sorry. I can find it if you want me to. I got 800 books in here. science book. Flowing through the
Yeah, I think it was the C5. C17's got bigger engines, it looks like. So, yeah.
Grand Canyon, the Colorado River provides a puzzle as to its stage of development. This is one of the earth science books I've got here. The river shows the wide looping meanders characteristic of an old age river. However, the valley walls are steep and V-shaped, characteristic of a full river. How might this apparent conflict of characteristics be explained? Looping meandering rivers shows its low slope river, not barely.
Hey, you know, when it's carving through stone, I don't really expect there to be too much edge erosion.
You know, like the Mississippi, 7 inches per mile. There's a picture of the Mississippi Delta. There we go. This is typical river pattern if it's, you know, almost flat ground. If it's real steep sides, it's usually a high slope.
That doesn't even make sense. Because the F-104 Starfighter is a small jet. C-141. I don't even know. Oh, Starlifter. Okay. C-14. Now we're going to look that up. C-141. Starlifter. Yeah, that could very well be it too. Definitely could. Definitely could. Retired as well, so that would fit. Yeah, the smaller engines. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Thank you, Laura. Good idea. Good hit. Which means there's at least 3 T-tail military cargo aircraft that are 4-engine jets. T-tail planes are evil because if you are pitching up, if you hit the wrong angle of attack, depending on your velocity, your velocity, you may end up having your tail controls behind the airflow being blocked by the wings. That creates a problem. You lose control there. Can't you tell I just love to be talking aircraft, even though I kind of fumble around it rather than hoving, but this is what we're doing.
And fast moving. Grand Canyon is both looping and steep sided. And Dan says this is proof that, you know, the flood didn't do it. The slope of the ground has a great effect on this. The speed of the water, the change in water volume, okay? Abrasive material in the water, if it's able to pick up sand or gravel. Hardness of the soil or rock, the composition of the soil or rock. So looping back and forth. Here's my theory, Dan.
Your theory means fuck all.
I suspect the Colorado River began slowly running over the Kaibab Plateau from Grand Lake, while 5,000 feet of sediment below only had a crust of dry rock on top. That's why I say 100 years later. The top, maybe 50 feet.
See, there he literally is saying that everything else was soft. That's not how strata work, Kent.
It had dried out and turned to rock. So the river's flowing over pretty hard, you know, concrete. Underneath is still soft mud. See, the top of Grand Canyon, the top of Grand Lake, if you closed up the canyon, Grand Lake would form today. I mean, take a while to fill up, but Grand Lake would form. The top of the plateau is about 7,000 to 8,000 feet elevation. The river enters the canyon at less than 2,800 feet. This is just a fact of life. If you plugged up the river, a giant lake would fill up a mile deep behind the dam. It would be, Kaibab Plateau would become a dam. Once it got too full, it would go over the top and start eroding the far side. Rivers or dams, when they break, always start from the far side, or the erosion eats its way backwards. So I think the river established a looping pattern for the first 100 years. It cut a riverbed in. It had a nice, you know, heavy-duty riverbed, but still looping back and forth as
a nice heavy-duty riverbed. Now, the Kaibab Plateau with a heavy-duty riverbed. Only 44,995 shekels and 99 shepence. I don't know. What does God need money for? Pay him anyway.
Lake slowly overflows the top. So it wasn't the flood that did it. This was 100 years later. The lake got too full, went over the top. The lake is still being fed by rivers and rainwater, et cetera, you know, and occasionally, but it may have taken a long time to go over the top and just, you know, a slow flow of water through the hard, dry sediment layers on top.
Go try and get a graduate degree in hydrology, Kent. I'm sure your thesis will be accepted. Hello, my name is Kent Hovind, and here is the Hovind theory on the formation of Grand Canyon. Did you know that there'd be a layer of rock, and then everything else would be soft, like my limp dick? Anyway,
Then, years later, don't know, it finally got to the softer part, the soft sediments. And now it can really do some erosion. So that would make it have a looping pattern already established, and now it can cut steep sides. Dan, it's not a problem. Simple. The snow line here in this picture tells the story. Between these two red lines right there, it's about 7,000 or 8,000 feet elevation. Grand Canyon enters at 2,000 feet, and it goes downhill for 277 miles, like you said, Dan, only kilometers, and comes out the other side. I agree. Okay.
you know, I love all this stuff that is so easily explained by even a cursory bit of research into the geologic formation. Research, excuse me. All this research done by experts. It's all a conspiracy. Hovind really knows what's up. He's the smartest man on earth, don't you know?
The ground slopes up to the top of the Grand Canyon. The river enters the canyon at 2,800 feet and flows downhill from there. Dan, think about it. The river enters the canyon 2,800 feet. The top of the canyon is actually higher than the bottom. How many can figure that out so far? Okay.
Yeah, continental uplift there, buddy. Happens over time. Pretty fascinating. Really fascinating, honestly. It makes me kind of wish I'd have studied geology more. I kind of wish I'd have studied everything more, but we can't be experts in everything. But we can take a healthy interest in all the stuff we can possibly fill our time with. And I choose to do that. Granted, when I pass on, all that information will just be a wisp of what I once knew, what was once me, but I take pride in being able to have like pride in a human scale of us having so much understanding and yet still having so much more to continue to learn. I love that. And I think it would be a waste to not try to learn as much as possible from all these other people doing incredible research in all kinds of fields. You think Goat Herder's Guide to the Galaxy is the best there ever has been or ever will be for describing anything, all while you take constant advantage of the outright miraculous technology of just the past century to put on your stupid little show.
The river only runs through the bottom. Mm-hmm. The top is higher than where the river enters the canyon by 4,000 feet. So here, I'll draw pictures for you, okay? The top is higher than the bottom. Everybody got
I'm going to be a condescending prick because I'm Kent Hovind.
that? Okay. There you go. Once again, the top's higher than the bottom. The river flows through the bottom. Rivers don't flow uphill in Arizona. There's no delta. Where's all the mud that washed out? See, that river didn't make the canyon.
You know, I need to read that. I've heard it read by Hemet Mehta, but I need to do a stream on that stupid ass paper that girl wrote. I need to see it with my own eyes and critique it as someone who is a considers myself a competent writer.
Grand Canyon is a washed out dam. I've never said the flood made Grand Canyon. Grand Lake.
You most certainly motherfucking have, Kent. Yes, you have. Shut your whore mouth.
Lake made Grand Canyon. Grand Lake, if you plugged up the canyon, would form again. That red box is the Kaibab Plateau. The river got too full, went over the top, and washed out Grand Canyon. Probably took, I don't know, once it gets through that hard crust, however thick it was, after the flood, then it gets to the soft part and eats down rapidly.
Ooh. I want to point out something. They ask where all the sediment from the Grand Canyon is. This little green patch right here. That's it. Where Baja California and the rest of Mexico diverge. There's sort of a nice little fertile area. That's where the delta was. It's filled in with all that material. It's fucking awesome. And you can plainly see it from a satellite view. Love it.
So Dan, I'm sorry. Somebody taught you something wrong, but I'll help you fix it. I want to help. Let's see. 2.8 mile trail. Kids go down and they're brainwashed into believing it took millions of years. I'll show you here. Come on, Scouts honor here. Come on, boys, follow me. We're going to go down here and we're going to see all these plaques that tell you how old this is. Trail of time at the Grand Canyon. By the way, I'll debate any of you park rangers anytime, okay? You're lying to the kid. You don't know it, but you are lying to the kids, okay? You probably really believe what you're teaching them, or you have to keep your job. You walk down the trail, and they got these markers every so often. Oh, this is 1,800 million years ago, 1.8 billion. Whoa, okay? You go down this trail, and they got all these markers. Pure baloney.
Now Kent's mocking the sign that says 1.8 billion.
God damn it, muted. I agree with that. She probably had that planned out to wait until the right point, since TA was trans, yeah.
Years old. But that number comes from the Vishnu schist. Now that sits at the canyon's base, and it's been dated.
How do you know that layer is that age, Dan? They dated.
He's literally explaining it, you dumb fuck, and you're about to go with, they date the fossils by the rocks, and they date the rocks by the fossils. Over.
By the fossils they find, don't they? And they date the fossils by...
No. They can tell roughly what age range something is likely to be, but other methodologies work. It's a nested system, as I explained earlier.
the layer they're in.
Because how are you going to know how old a fossil specimen is unless you know the age of the strata that it's in? But then when you find that specimen in another strata, you know more than likely it's going to be the same age. And then other testing methods always confirm this. That's the beauty of it. All these different methodologies combined together. Evidence is overwhelming. That's why you do your one piece at a time. Because taken at isolation, you can come up with some lie that tries to discredit it. But when you look at everything on a whole, already knowing you're just lying about what discredits the individual pieces, but you realize there's no way to ignore how everything fits together so well.
It is circular reasoning. I've covered that many times, Dan. I know you've been taught and you believe this Vishnu layer is 1.8 billion years old. And that's already stuck in your brain. I'm trying to help you, okay? How can that layer down here be a different age than this layer up here? Where did this dirt, where was it hanging out?
How are your kids different ages, Kent? The eggs in your wife and the crap in your gonads that eventually became the splooge you shot up in there was all the same age. Huh, Kent? Do I need to call you tonight? Are you having your little Christmas show? Are you having an open mic here in a couple hours? Do I need to call in and ask you that? Because I fucking will. And then watch as you won't answer the question because you thought I was being rude to the guy who calls people retarded and morons and stuff constantly. Fuck you.
Waiting to land. Huh? Are they coming from, are these layers? Is the Earth like a big apple that gets dipped in caramel and it makes a layer, let it dry, dip it in, make another layer? How can the layers be different ages? Why don't you guys answer?
It's been explained to you to the nth degree, you fucking moron. You're just an indignant prick who just doesn't want to acknowledge that you've been corrected on everything you've ever fucking said.
Answer it. All the layers are dated by the fossils, and the fossils are dated by the layers. It's pure circular reasoning. It's purely insane.
Except it's not, you dumb fuck.
I'm sorry, there is no geologic column, Dan. I know that's your Bible. I hate to burn.
I'm sorry, there is no God, Kent. I know that's the only thing you possibly believe in because you were brainwashed as a kid and you're a fucking moron. And it's your security blanket and your pacifier. Mama, Jesus loves me, yes, I know. But everything you believe is a fucking lie, you piece of shit. Cry about it. I'll wait.
It's your Bible, but it's stupid. Tell them I said so, okay?
Using
Oh, I love being this blasphemous on Christmas, by the way. It doesn't feel like Christmas, but god damn, I love just being this much of an asshole. on this day to this particular fucker. Because he deserves it. I know you all know that, and feel that way, but yeah.
Several independent radiometric methods.
So they date it by radiometric method. Dan, you need to watch my video number 7. Carbon dating only goes for a few thousand years, and
yeah, that's why they don't use carbon, you fucking moron.
All of the dating methods, whether it's argon, potassium, argon,
explain.
Uranium, lead, uranium 238, uranium 236, all of them have the obvious assumption that you know how much was in it when it started. You can't know.
You measure ratios, Kent. You measure ratios.
That for any of them. You also have the assumption there's been no contamination, been the assumption that the rate of decay has remained same.
Rate of decay has to remain the same. Otherwise, fundamental properties of physics go all wavy. And for groups that like to claim that everything is fine-tuned, y'all really love to bring up that rate of decay is the same. If decay rates changed, Kent, holy fuck, nothing would exist. You're talking fundamentals of the universe. But you also want to claim everything is fine-tuned. Talk about eating your cake and having it too, you fucking twat.
We covered that thoroughly in video number 7, Dan. None of them.
You don't cover shit in any video. You just waffle on lying to people who will give you money. That's it. Tell them what they want to hear. Give them money. Make sure their security blanket is nice and tight. Now give Daddy Hovind $20, please. Woo.
Can be proven. The layers are millions of years old. Okay, let's see.
These methods don't care about what anyone believes.
You care what the Bible says either, do you? You don't care.
Hey, we don't need any QR codes from Joseph. I got my QR code up right there, and if you check that out, it'll give you the option to, if you're feeling generous, send some shekels my way directly. That will go directly to me. I won't have to wait on Google or anything, and that will help put food in Yamato's stomach. Because, yeah, struggle is real. It's getting better, though. Just on the last rough patch.
What God says.
Uranium decays into lead at a measurable, consistent rate.
So you are still holding to your belief that the layers are different ages. Let's suppose the radiometric dating that you rely on gives an age for this layer. And
it's funny. Because I happen to own a specimen of Vaseline glass, a very nice piece, and I think about the fact that this thing is, well, if the alpha particles could get out of the glass, it'd be emitting a lot of alpha and plenty of beta. And I just think about the fact that this thing is decaying at a known rate, the uranium in it. It's not much, but there's so many atoms, yeah, it's going to be an aggregate. And I just think it's so fucking awesome that this is happening in this piece of glass that I'm holding right now. It's right next to the microphone. There you go. Just tapped it. That's so fucking cool. And there's an absolute beauty in that. And knowing what that means, what can be determined from that, what can be gathered from that process. Because as we all know, I'm a massive proponent of nuclear power and absolutely adore any kind of nuclear science. And just him at all pretending that this is just, I don't get it. Kent, you grew up in the 50s. So you were 10 when the last above-ground atomic tests by the United States and Soviet Union would have happened. You're born in 53. Those would have been finally banned in 63. The U.S. did underground tests until 1992. But you would have grown up exposed to film of nuclear testing, both fission and fusion weapons. All fusion weapons, of course, using a fission device as the primary source of neutrons for the fusion stage and pressure and the like. Point is, do you think if rates of decay weren't consistent and the properties weren't consistent, they could have built those bombs? This is a very serious question, Kent. Do you think if the properties were not consistent, that there would have at all been a way to develop the atomic bomb and have used it against Japan to end World War II? Because the way you speak of nuclear decay rates, that would have been impossible. Because for Little Boy, they would not have been able, regardless of how much U-235 they would have produced from U-238, they would not have been able to properly calculate a value that would have achieved the critical mass the correct way. And for Fat Man, it's funny too then that the plutonium pit, the core sphere that would have been compressed by the shake charges surrounding it, since Fat Man was an implosion type device, the same as Trinity, that the chemical explosives were consistent, but the radioactive material would not be. That's something really funny that this man's going into. And I love that I'm just having one of those moments of extreme clarity to be able to share this with everyone. I know it's making the stream long as hell, but whatever. Is that this man legitimately thinks that chemical explosives would be infinitely more consistent than atomic decay rates, than fundamental elements of reality versus large molecular chains. That is fucking insane. That's like trusting a supercomputer, but not trusting an individual microchip. How does that work? Oh, the whole computer's fine, but there's one microchip. I don't trust it to do right. What the fuck are you talking about? We've still got a good bit of this to go. Okay, we're over halfway, so there's that. I hope you all have enjoyed this little moment.
And it gives a younger age for this layer. You're still not answering the question. Where did this layer come from? How can it be younger? Is it coming from outer space? I wish you guys would just answer it. Brother?
Yeah.
You're from Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
You can see this is dumb.
It's real though.
Okay.
You can run the samples in different labs and get the same age. Calling that
Different labs get the same age. Dan, you know full well they might have to test a sample 4, 5, or 10 times. And if they don't like the number they keep testing until they get the number they want.
No, that's not how it is. And you have that one quote you guys mined out of somewhere, probably your own asses, claiming such. But I'm certain, like every single quote any creationist ever provides, and any research into that will explain things properly.
And it has to match the published data, called peer review, or else it won't get published. So if I took a piece of rock from the Triassic, and it's supposed to go 220 million years, but we dated it at a laboratory. Take a rock, take it to a laboratory, blind test. How old is the rock? First question they're going to ask is, where did you get it?
Yeah, because they need to know what particular method to use. If you sent somewhere to measure something, you're going to want an estimate, Kent, of how big is this? Do I need to bring a big tape measure? Do I need just a ruler? Do I need something more complicated? You measure the diameter of a space shuttle external tank, since you love the space shuttle so much, using a little kid's ruler. I'll wait, Kent. Or maybe you use something a little more appropriate for the job.
Why would that matter? Why would that matter?
Oh, no, man. They call you to help with a construction site. You're going to ask what tools you need to bring. Why does it matter? Well, I need to know what tools to bring. Do I need a hammer? Do I need my saw? Do I need, paintbrushes? I mean, what are we doing? No, just show up. Oh, you brought a hammer and we're trying to paint? What the fuck are you going to paint with a hammer? How are you going to paint with a hammer? You're going to want to know what tool you need for the job, dumbass.
Because they have to get an approximate age before they even start, so they know what number they're looking for. You can test.
Oh, so they know what tool to use, you conspiracy-minded prick.
Test the same sample 10 times to get 10 different numbers. You need to watch video 7, Dan. I'm sorry.
I need to watch video 7. You need to drop dead.
baloney doesn't overturn nuclear physics.
I agree. Nuclear physics tells us all these elements are decaying.
No, Kent.
That does not tell you how did uranium get so complex to begin with? It
Did uranium get so complex to begin with? Well, Kent, when a mommy nucleus and a daddy nucleus of sufficient energy love each other very, very much, usually in the blazing heat of a dying supermassive star, or in the case of those kinds of heavy ass elements, we're talking neutron stars deciding to get really, really close to one another. The energies involved will usually be enough to surpass the repulsion properties of atomic nuclei and cause fusion. It's kind of how it works. You throw enough energy into particles, things happen. Some of them wind up being intrinsically unstable because certain properties just aren't quite right, usually with the neutron count. Well, it's always with the neutron count. And sometimes those elements like to shed a little bit of that energy. Incidentally, Kent, you talk about matter being created from energy as if it's something that doesn't happen. Oh, we see matter turn into energy all the time, but we don't see energy turn into matter. But when neutrons decay, the products you see come out are energy, as in rest mass of the neutron, becoming that I think it's an electron positron pair for beta decay. Yeah. So kind is exactly what you were expecting there, Kent. That a neutron doesn't have electrons and positrons to give. They have that is something created from energy being released by the decay of the neutron. Which is the neutron decays into a proton, thus stabilizing the element. Of course, that stabilizes it into, or stabilizing that atom, which usually stabilizes into a slightly more, a higher element on the periodic table, if it's even stabilizing at all. It's complicated. But it's a lot of simple additions and subtractions. But again, you want to take emergent complexity. I mean, it's still just proton, neutrons, electrons. It's not as complex as you think, buddy.
decays to lead. We know that. But see, that's going downhill on the periodic table.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how radioactive decay works. What are you going to complain about gravity bringing things downhill too? Oh, well, see, gravity can't exist because it only brings things downhill. How should it go uphill?
Uphill, technically. But it's getting simpler. It's losing material. How did it get full of this radioactive
It's losing material.
data? How did uranium start?
What?
How did it get full of this radioactive data?
How did it get full of this radioactive data? What the hell is wrong with this clown?
How did uranium start off with all this radioactive stuff in it, Dan? Go to ICR, Institute for Creation Research.org. They got a whole bunch of articles on this, debunking the stupid radiometric dating stuff. They date the layers.
Yes, ICR, the bastions of science. Oh, yes.
By the fossils they contain. That's how they do it, Dan, and you know it. They have the different layers of the canyon marked off. There's the river way at the bottom down there, okay? Here's all the layers. We have all the sandstone and limestone formations and all that stuff. Kaibab limestone. Notice there's limestone in here quite a few times. Red Wall limestone, Temple Butte limestone, Mauve limestone.
Yeah, Taku, it is an interesting thought. There's a non-zero chance something could happen to Kent on a live stream. I most certainly hope that doesn't happen. Whenever time comes for Hovland, I do hope it is in his sleep, peacefully, like we all hopefully will go. But yeah, it's a non-zero chance. That would be very awkward.
How do you tell the difference? Oh, by the fossils. I understand, yeah. Your stupid geologic column in the fossil.
Having repeated limestone layers is not a problem. It's exactly what you'd expect when an area is covered by shallow seas.
From wonderful comedian that is Otaku X. Lisa is the condom that makes sensual activity safe. Damn. I really do hope y'all are loving me just totally nerding out on aircraft and radioactive stuff. I know I go off on little tangents, but I hope I've provided some, knowledge, perspective, something as I share this craziness that I love.
Multiple times over hundreds of millions of years. Sea levels rise, limestone forms. Sea level falls, erodes, or new sediments form. Sea levels rise again, another limestone.
Sea level rising, sea level falling, sea level rising. Kind of like maybe tidal pumping.
No, it's not tidal pumping. Hovind is obsessed with pumping, man. Between whale penis, me, I would say, scoot over, honey, virgin on our honeymoon, I've had 4 wives, pumping. Oh, the pump. Hovind, you ain't done any pumping since prison.
See, Dan, the Earth is turning, and it is round, and it turns, okay? The Earth is turning under the moon.
And Big Bad Mama, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I could, in all seriousness, I'm very glad I could comment on it and share the Stoney lawsuit in a way that the community approves of. Because this is a case where you don't want to open mouth insert foot when talking about something that is like an actual lawsuit that's been filed against somebody. Yeah, it's freaking wild. Thank you for sharing the fact that it happened, picking up on that news. And I'm glad I could, share to all those who aren't going to read a 42-page legal document that's pretty fucked up. The summary, or not the summary, the whole thing in 3 hours. Just, someone had to do it. It's my turn to just be that guy. Take one for the team. My sanity is gone. This is how I spent my Christmas.
My moon over here. 1 second. I like that moon you got on my desk vibrating, rolling around, Joseph, but I can't. If I pull it off, it's very hard. It's hard to get started again on top of that magnet. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I'm not going to touch it.
Language, Kent.
Okay. The Earth is spinning under the moon. The moon is holding a tide steady right under the moon. The high tide stays right there. I mean, there's a little tidal lag. I forget how many degrees off it is. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Nothing matters, Kent. Nothing matters to you. Ken Hovind's 2026 resolutions. 1. Write Trump another letter begging for a pardon. He's definitely going to be doing that one. It's been almost a year. 2. Get my undies back from Eric. He is never going to see those underwear. Eric has most certainly thrown away those underwear. You know that. 3. Outrage on my stream when the lawsuit gets tossed out. Yep. I'm waiting for that one.
Forget it. Okay. So the moon is holding that tide. So as we turn, as far as people on Earth go, the tide goes up, down every time we pass under the moon. It's called tidal pumping. That is what caused all the layers, Dan, in 1 year. How can they be different ages? How can you have petrified trees standing up, running through all the layers? I've showed this hundreds of times. Polystrata fossils. Thousands have now been found all over the world.
They're not what you think they are, because you and everyone else are lying fucks.
Why do you guys cling to the stupid idea that the layers are different ages by millions of years? Okay, what? Get all the scientists in England over there where you are. I'll take them all on the same time in a debate. Okay, there is no such thing as a geologic column.
Yeah, Zumi, that stuff happens. Zumi says she was once watching a streamer play a game, forgot which one it was, what streamer it was, but he forgot to end his stream, got a glass of water and went to bed, and people stayed and watched. Dude, that's the kind of audience retention I hope to have. Y'all just see my ass over here. Apparently I snore a bit, so you'd get that. And occasionally me waking up and punching. Apparently I've been having dreams where at some point fight or flight kicks in. And I believe the past 2 nights, a stack of hard drives on my side table, because of course I'd have a stack of random computer hard drives on my side table, I have punched them. So I half wake up after doing that being like, ow, my hand hurts. Oh, right. And then go back to sleep. Oh, I don't sleep well.
But I know that's your Bible and you're stuck with it. And if you don't go along with it, you get excommunicated from the temples of higher learning. Right. I know how it works. Oxford
yes, it's a complete fucking conspiracy.
would fire you in a hurry. Yeah. Okay. All the layers we see are sedimentary rock, and there's no erosion marks between them. Answer that, Dan? Let's see, if this Jurassic layer sat there for 42 million years waiting for the Cretaceous, or whatever the time is, why are there no erosion marks between them? Don't you think it's going to rain once in a while in 42 million years?
That isn't how any of that works, Kent.
How come there's no tree roots growing between them? Don't you think some kind of seeds would blow around and start growing? Put some roots down. We got sand dunes up here. That stuff starts growing.
Fucking nutter.
In the middle of the sand. A lot of it doesn't make it very long. Makes it a year, and then it builds up a little soil because it dies and leaves debris behind. That the next generation can go a little longer.
Oh, wow. You even understand some of the basic principles, Kent. You just acknowledged one of them. What the fuck? That just shows how much of a dishonest prick you are.
The plants will slowly take over a sand dune in probably 50 years. It's been about 18 years here for these, and they're already getting covered with vegetation. Come back in 100 years. I won't be here, but you'll see. So I'm sorry, Dan. It's a Christmas present. I'm trying to help you. You got brainwashed. You understand? Stop believing the stupid geologic column. That's your problem, part of it. Okay? See, the Bible is true. And someday you're going to stand before God and every knee is going to bow and you're going to confess that Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God the Father. I'd like that to be a happy.
Yeah. Fuck you and your threats and your fairy tale. How you like them apples, Kent? You got a shitty story that you based your entire grift upon. Congratulations, you've had other people pay for your life. How does that make you feel? You feel accomplished? I'm sure you do. Because you're a pathetic relic of a bygone era. And the sooner the world has moved on from idiocy such as yours and what your generation represents, your particular clade from that generation, I should stress, the sooner we can actually progress as a species.
Day for you to say, God, thank you. Kent rescued me. I gave my heart to Jesus. I got saved. Thank you, Kent, for telling me the truth. Am I therefore your enemy because I tell you the truth? Dan, talk a little more. And there's no soil buildup between them. These layers didn't sit there for millions of years waiting for the next one to land. Each of them was deposited.
Wow. It's almost as if you say the same shit over and over, Kent. And yes, I'm eating. Streaming about you doesn't deserve me to make sure that I'm not finishing up a nice bite of a hot meal with telling you to piss off.
A few hours or a few days apart, each tidal pumping would cause that.
Watching Kent Hovind while watching a meal? A succulent chicken meal? This is democracy manifest.
There are multiple paleosols or ancient soil layers. Not every environment produces soil, of course. And
so your argument why all these layers in the Grand Canyon are nice, neat, stacked up like pancakes for millions of years. They didn't produce any soil, no trees.
Oh, no, I'm 100% on that. The entire Bible, that entire story, God is the evil one. Just straight up, God is evil. The whole story is written from the perspective of the villains.
No plants grew there. No roots penetrated the one below it. And they're all nice, neat, flat layers. And do you ever stop and think about what you think about? Think about it.
Not every surface is exposed long enough for soil to form.
Exposed long enough for soil to form? I'd say 42 million years is long enough for something to happen.
He thinks they're just slabs, like wood panels just slapped on top of each other. They sit around for a billion years, then the next one gets just dropped on at once. It's crazy.
He's such an easy target. And I'm so tempted to just...
Yes, but when people talk about you, when I do my videos, AJ does his videos, etc., you're like, everybody picking on me. You're too cheeky. It's like, no, you're a really fucking easy target, Kent. Just, you're such a locale, you turn stuff into a career. People can make a career mocking you, tearing into what you have to say. Because your idiot followers will continue to be pissed off by this. You continue to be butthurt over this. And it's great knowing that every day I'm aggravating you a little more.
keep bashing and ridiculing, but I really would like to win him to the
Also, is it just me or did Dino Lamp suddenly get powered down? I thought it was on earlier.
Lord, you know. Tell you what, Dan, call me. Off the record. I'll never tell anybody you called if you tell me. I want to keep this private. 855 Big Dino, extension 3. I take calls
Yeah, fucking right.
all day. I want to talk to you. I'll pray for you. But you have been duped, and you're duping other people, thousands of them. And I know if you get converted, probably going to hurt your channel, all the views. I don't know, maybe that's your only income. I don't know. But anyway.
Most of the canyon's layers were deposited in marine or desert environments, where soil, of course, simply doesn't form.
Textbook says,
once again, the claim of conspiracy and the idea that Dan doing this as a full-time job, which if he does, he does. If he doesn't, I don't know. I don't care. And I mean, in the best way, it's whatever. Him being like he couldn't still continue to do stuff. It's a financial incentive when this man literally lives off of nothing but donations. He doesn't do any actual work. He doesn't contribute to society. People have to give him money. See, I at least beg for money in conjunction with working a full-time job. But I'm on the tail end of, unlike you, Kent, actually paying what I owe and dealing with some other bullshit that has just kind of come up. And I'm honest about that. Not that the details are the public's business, but this is life. This is what it is to be human. And if I'm going to ask my friends here to please try to help me, I want them to at least know what is going on. Because these are friends. I care about the people in my chat. You only care about yourself.
For millions, arid climates. So it stayed arid for 42 million years. I think there'd be a little climate change in there somewhere along the line in 42 million years. Okay. Of years, the Colorado River carved the Grand Canyon from solid rock. This is baloney. It's a fact Grand Canyon exists. It is not a fact that took millions of years. There's the evolutionist interpretation and the creationist interpretation. Evolutionists say it formed slowly by a little water and lots of time. Creationists say it formed quickly by lots of water and a little bit of time. And the evolutionists are always trying to erase the line between their theory and the fact. And they try to ignore the creation point of view. Dan, you should listen to this guy.
But the creationists aren't trying to do the exact same thing. And there goes Ken's ego. You should listen to this guy. Hey, Ken, you should listen to me.
Guy. Okay.
Kent frames this as two interpretations, the evolutionist one and the creationist one, as if both explain the canyon equally well. But
you're right, Dan. Ours explains it much better. Now, yours is a stupid explanation of the canyon.
Geology isn't a matter of voting. The canyon isn't interpreted one way because people prefer it.
Damn, I'm taking precedence over Zoomy watching Fallout. That says a lot. That is high praise. Thank you.
You are simply mistaken about that. That's why they prefer any explanation to get rid of God. That's the real problem. Anyway, that's enough for tonight, Dan.
No. Your God just evidently doesn't exist. Your Bible is evidently lies, fiction, falsehoods, mythology. That's just the way reality is. Don't get mad at us. Get mad at the reality.
Your friend, it's Christmas. Be a perfect time for you to give your heart to the Lord. I'd like to see that. Okay. All right. Any questions or comments, Joseph?
Yeah. Fuck you.
I'm going to bring my family down to Adventureland this summer. God bless. Thank you. Come on down.
Don't. You might not go back with all your kids.
John Johann Senator. Whoa. Okay. Come on down. Cheesy.
And yes, I forgot to mention Wizard of Oz. That's also high praise. And yeah, Kent only cares about people in his audience. Kent cares about the people in his audience's wallets. There we go. Read it correctly.
If you can't order the creation seminars to be set as my Christmas present. Well, good. We mailed out a bunch of them the last couple of weeks. So praise God. Hey, you can make all the copies you want. Don't sell it.
Hey, they were free on YouTube, you dumb fuck.
It's my intellectual property. I give you permission to copy it and give it away many times as you want. I haven't heard from the guy in Dallas in a couple of years now. He had 46,000 copies he made. That's pretty good. Okay. Leslie, the river didn't cut the canyon. The Coconut sandstone goes all the way to Greenland in one slab. Eyewitnesses liquefaction has been identified in between the layers. I'm not sure what your comment means there.
Yeah, because those are complex words for the tiny-brained Hovend.
Coconut sandstone goes all the way to Greenland, or whatever. What did you say? Okay. How about that confused look atheists get when you ask how the layers in the walls of the canyon and gorges formed?
The look you get is probably a side effect of the fact that it was just explained to you, Nimrods, and you don't fucking get it.
They've been so thoroughly brainwashed with their pat answer. It's like you're talking to a rock. Well, they actually came from a rock.
Oh, fuck you with the came from rock crap. And yeah, the Facebook crowd to fluff Kent. Gotta fluff the Kent penis.
Rock, so maybe that. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing the best I can to try to get through to them.
And for those who don't know, I am going to educate you on something. A fluffer is the term for somebody who helps to re-stimulate the male performer in adult entertainment.
What are your thoughts regarding the future of the United Kingdom? Overrun with Islam, and our political circles are very socialist at present, with councils attempting to ban street preaching. Also, our king is favorable. There's never been a socialist communist country that survives without taking over more property. You got to keep feeding new meat to the meat grinder. It's this communism and socialism is stupid political theory.
I don't know, man. Vietnam seems to be doing pretty good. China's holding its own. North Korea's managing. But I got something for you, Kent. Let me finish this bite of wonderful chicken. As you know, I'm a left-wing chicken-eating Satanist. Y'all aren't the only ones who eat chicken, you dumb fuck. Kent, you want to know what the most socialist country is? It's actually the United States. Because for some fucking reason, whenever companies, big corporations, are fucked over or the banks are having problems, we just love to give them money. We get billionaires and companies bailouts all the fucking time. But, you know, we also blow money on anti-homeless architecture. I saw a nice meme on Instagram. American anti-homeless architecture, and it's, you know, bench with like sections in it that, you know, would hurt somebody, you know, you couldn't lay down on it. Soviet anti-homeless architecture, and it's fucking apartments. Yeah. That says everything you need to know. Fucker.
Everybody's required to give their work so people can sit on the couch and not work.
No, that's not at all how the shit works, you dumb fuck.
Follow the Bible. If you don't work, you don't eat. It's a great motivator. You'd be surprised. Somebody gets hungry, they'll find a job. Yeah, okay.
Or they'll just take your food. You seem to have plenty. How about redistribution of wealth? Look, that's kind of what happens. Why should people not have food, Kent? Are you saying people shouldn't have food? The fuck kind of shit is that? You don't work. You shouldn't have food.
And Islam is...
You should not be given... No one should donate to you because that is socialism. You benefit from social well-being, from people donating to you. Stop taking donations. That's socialism.
Going to destroy your country. Okay. What Bible translations are not missing 200 verses? King James. Go to avpublications.com, authorized version. AV publication, they got all the list of all the verses missing and stuff like that. Okay, happy Christmas. Data from radiometric dating, ice cores, technology, VARs, index fossils, collaborate one another. How can Genesis, crybaby, you need to watch my video number 1. Let's see, what do you say? Ice cores, okay? I talked to the guy who dug.
Okay, let's read Christian's Crybaby's comment. Happy Christmas, Kent. Data from radiometric dating, ice cores, dendrochronology, Varvis, and index fossils corroborate one another. How can Genesis genealogy compare with that?
Out the airplane that landed in Greenland in 1942. They melted several years.
And see, Hovend is missing the point completely. Just because ice cores was there was a key word, so he'd bring up some random shit that he says all the time.
Going up there, they melted down, took the airplane apart, brought it back to Kentucky, Middleborough, Kentucky. Google the Glacier Girl. It's a P-38, I think. It's flying in air shows today. I said, when you went down to get to the airplane, did you go through ice rings? He said, oh, many hundreds of them. It was in the ice for 48 years. How do you get many hundreds of annual layers on top of an airplane in 48 years? Right, baby? They're not annual layers. You can get 8 or 10 layers in 1 year. See, it's not summer, winter, summer, winter. It's warm, cold, warm, cold. Get 5 of those in 1 week. You need to watch my video number 1. Okay, you've been brainwashed too, crybaby. I'd like to help you. Thank you, Brad. Let's see. For tonight's superb explanation from a genuinely scientific. Oh, good. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. Okay.
You suck him off some more there. What was fucker's name? Let me get. Let you be able to see that. And yeah, Laura, it's absolutely fucking insane. The right wing loves to talk about the vets. Gotta support the vets. Gotta support the military. But then the moment it's done, they're done serving and they come back, fucked up. They don't want to help them at all. It's just like the abortion thing. You can't abort the baby. You gotta give birth to it. But after you do, we don't fucking care what happens. It's insane. Walmart workers aren't required to touch penises, at least most of the time. You'd be amazed. Same time, sex work is hard work. It is. And sex work is work. Yeah, Brad here is like, thank you, Dr. Hovind, for tonight's superb explanation from a genuinely scientific viewpoint. He ain't scientific. What the fuck kind of crack are you smoking, Brad? To these idiots, scientific means, it aligns with the Bible. Because this geriatric piece of shit somehow knows anything, but all the thousands upon thousands of scientists out there don't know shit. Sure, Kent.
Thank you, Brad. Let's see. For tonight's superb explanation from a genuinely scientific. Oh, good. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. Okay. Stan, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Andrew, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Y'all from the South.
Somebody on TikTok wants to know if you've been to the museum in Glen Rose.
Oh, yeah, many times. Carl Ball's a good friend of mine. Okay. I talked to the people there a couple days ago. I called him about something. I forget what now. Okay, Deborah. Crybaby is our special project. Bless his heart.
Deborah Francis, Hovind wife number 5.
Okay. Now, these atheists, when they do actually honestly give their heart to the Lord, get saved, they make great Christians. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Time to quit. Have a Christmas. Nothing tomorrow night. Friday night. If you call in talk show. You got evidence for evolution?
Call in talk show, please.
I don't believe it. I want to see it. Evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world. It's going to lead you straight to hell. You don't go to hell because you believe in evolution. You go to hell because you're a sinner. And Jesus died and he could have saved you, but you didn't. When I was lifeguard, that's
what I hear, Kent.
Kid out there, swimming around trying to drown. I throw him a life preserver. He won't grab it.
Kid out there swimming, trying to drown.
I know the rule, reach, throw, row, go. I got all that down. But Jesus has given the life preserver. You can get saved. You don't want it? Okay. If you go to hell, it's your fault. I tried.
Yes. Your analogy doesn't work there, Kent. You're going to be responsible if somebody drowns on your watch. You know that, right? I tried. He wouldn't take the preserver. Then go out there and fucking get him. I tried. He wouldn't. Does this man understand anything except how to be a fraud? How to lie for money?
All right. See you tomorrow. No, Friday. Bye.
Yeah, go to hell, Kent. Hopefully that'll be the last Hovind stream ever. We'll receive sad news. Sad news, yeah. To quote, how could hell be any worse? From Joe Cool, Merry Christmas. Had a chance to email Joseph. No, keep pestering me. I keep forgetting. But since the holiday season is over, I might remember to fire one off. I'll make a note. Email Joseph regarding me plus Joe. God is evil. To that effect. If memory serves, that was what we wanted to do. God was a bad guy. Could get that mistaken. Hell's empty and all the devils are here. Exactly. But all right. Wow. Another hour and 40-minute stream. That was a fun time. Hope everyone enjoyed. Seems like you did. And Steel Force Valkai hit the gift shop on the way out. That gift shop being gifts to me by actually no. I got the link down below for the UPay to help support directly. Of course, there's the Patreon, there's channel memberships, super chat, super thanks, all that jazz. Links down below to all kinds of crazy projects I work on, and we can have some fun outside of YouTube. Lastly, with otaku, the analogy also doesn't work because it's more like someone throwing you a life preserver while you're standing on the sidewalk nowhere near water, a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. Very good point. Zeus could lick God's ass. Oh man. That's the kind of thing Zeus is into. I don't know. That's perfect parting stuff. But all right, I am out of here. Can we throw in chemtrails in that debate as well? I mean, sure. We'll see. Chemtrails. All right, I got that noted too. we can go down any route. It'd be fun. But all right. I've got work tomorrow, and then the weekend is mine. We're just gonna see what happens with Kent's stream tomorrow night. Means no stream tonight. That's fine. That's dandy. Good for him. It is 6:21, so Guild Wars will have had its daily reset. So I'm gonna go play some Guild Wars, have some more fun, and yeah, be around in Discord and the like.